Welcome back. Today I take you along with me on my celebratory meals or cheat meals. If you follow me closely, you're very familiar with them. I am a clean eater. I eat whole, nutritionally dense food, pretty much the same food. I recently shared a what I eat in a day video, maybe like 1 month ago, very updated at the age of 52, how I manage my weight and why. The key to that video is the whys. I share 5 whys to the way that I eat, and it will all make sense when you hear them. Please check that video out. I will also share my past videos on celebratory or cheat meals in case you haven't wrapped your head around what they are for me. And I take about 2 per week. That's all I get away with. And that is not days, that is meals, but I have videos where I cover that more in depth. So check them out. Someone, a commenter, and I don't know what video it was on. I just got done going through a handful of YouTube videos, the comment section, because I wanted to take a screenshot, but I had a subscriber leave a comment on one of my videos and said, Tracy, it would be really nice for you to take us along on several of your celebratory or cheat meals so we can kind of see what you're ordering, because most of my, I would say, cheat or celebratory meals take place at a dining establishment or when hosting, because I do a lot of hosting. I also prepare a Friday family dinner, so sometimes I will take a celebratory meal there, or if we attend a party. Now, it is not uncommon for me to pass up on that food if I have a lot packed in a week. Again, I just really don't get away with more than 2 and manage the 5 whys, and that's the key. But I took you along, or I'm taking you along. I believe I have 8 celebratory meals to share with you. And I believe I started about mid to end of January. And I take you along up until, well, this video was filmed probably about a week and a half before I publish it. So today, we're still at the end of February, and I'll share with you that to observe the Lenten season, I'm only taking 2 celebratory meals during the 40 days of Lent. One of them is coming up. I probably will have already taken it when this video publishes, but one is on Sunday, March 3rd, because we are hosting a birthday celebration for 4 members. My 3rd daughter, McKenna's birthday, her husband, Bobby's birthday, my youngest daughter, Chloe's boyfriend, Jack's birthday, and then our bonus granddaughter, Kaylee. So we're celebrating 4 birthdays on Sunday, March 3rd. That will be my, well, no, I take that back. That will be my second celebratory meal, because my husband and I did so basically Lent started on Wednesday, the 14th of February, and that following Saturday, the 17th, we had a night in Detroit that was funded and given as a Christmas gift by our kids. I didn't get footage of that. We were in some really fine dining establishments and wine bars and little places for cocktails, for pre-dinner drinks, and I just didn't feel comfortable taking like some footage in establishments like that. But I think every other pretty much meal I did take footage of. And then I'm taking a celebratory meal on Sunday, March 3rd, which this will probably come out afterwards. And then I don't have any other celebratory meals until Easter. So basically 2 celebrations during Lent, and yeah, that's tough. That's tough, but that was one of the ways to observe the Lenten season that I chose. So without further ado, since I've taken you along on a lot of chatter, let's take a look at my cheat meals, or celebratory meals as I like to call them. Celebratory meal number 1 took place on Saturday, January 27th around 4 p.m. at a place that I would say we frequent quite a bit throughout the year. It's called Fenton Fire Hall, which is about a 30-minute drive from where I live. My adult kids, they love this place. Kirsten, Tim, McKenna, and Bobby, this is one of their favorite places. You are looking at my typical order at this establishment, which is their fish tacos. It's 3 beer-battered Atlantic cod tacos, sriracha mayo, radish slaw on flour tortillas. This platter usually comes with a side of tortilla chips and house-made queso, but I upgrade to their hand-cut fries because they are delicious with the Fire Hall mayo. This really makes it killer. And then for my beverage, I had 2 pints of Tandem Smackintosh ciders. So this was quite an indulgent meal, which is pretty typical for a celebratory meal. You're looking at celebratory meal number 2, which just so happened to take place the very next day on Sunday, January 28th, which is not ideal and not something that I typically do. I much prefer to spread my celebratory meals out throughout the week. So as I've mentioned, I take about 2 celebratory meals per week. And if I take one, let's say on a weekend, I'd much rather take the second one more midweek. To have at least a couple of days in between is the ideal, but it didn't work in this case. And one of the reasons is it was the playoff games for the NFL to determine who would be going to the Super Bowl. And Paul said, let's order in some pizza from our local favorite establishment. So I caved in and said, all right, sounds good. I didn't have anything really planned, so it worked out. This is our favorite local pizza establishment, Gina's. They are known by everyone in the community to have amazing pizza, and they definitely do. We always order the same toppings. It's ham, bacon, and pineapple. And I added some of my favorite chips. I actually like these chips in the sweet potato option, but Paul picked up the Mediterranean ones. But I'm not a chip person, but I love these, so I added some with my pizza. And then for my beverage of choice to watch the games, I'm drinking a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc. I had a couple of glasses with this with my pizza, and that was earlier in the day, and I ended up finishing the bottle off later in the day with some more pizza. So it was pretty indulgent, but I celebrate that win. Here you're looking at a Friday family dinner where I made ham and cheese sliders, which I'm not a big ham person, but these were incredible. The recipe is on the recipe tab on the Tracy Hensel website, as well as the pasta salad you're looking at. That's also on the website. And then my cheesy gourmet potatoes. It was absolutely amazing. Here we are at Uno Pizzeria and Grill, which is a chain restaurant or chain establishment, and not typically where Paul and I choose to dine. We're not really chain people, although there's a couple that we like. I love Carrabba's and Paul loves P.F. Chang's, but besides that, we don't typically dine at chain establishments, but we definitely love Uno Pizzeria and Grill. What you're looking at here is the Tuscany bread. It's a toasted ciabatta loaf with pesto, cheese, spinach, and seasoned plum tomatoes. This is actually the first time I've ordered this. At Uno, I have a go-to, and you'll see that in a bit. I only order one thing, but on this particular day, I wanted to eat a little bit lighter, and appetizers were on special, and this was part of the appetizer selection, and it was great, but I like my go-to a little bit more. I also had a couple of glasses of wine with this meal, which is also quite typical. And just to kind of make it clear, Paul and I typically go out during early happy hour because we are early to bed, early to rise. So a lot of times we're still on the clock. We are still working. Yes, drinking wine and eating food. I love it. Celebrate that win. Since I just showed you the Tuscany bread at Uno, I thought we would jump right into my absolute favorite at Uno, and it's the Farmer's Market. Now, this is offered as their deep dish pizza, like a single pizza for one person, but I have the Farmer's Market done on the thin crust. I love it. I can eat the whole entire thing. Most often, I will bring about 2 to 3 pieces home, and sometimes I'll end up eating them a little bit later after we get home and they don't even make it to the next day. I can pack the food away, I'm telling you. But this is caramelized onions, fresh spinach, sun-dried and plum tomatoes, roasted eggplant, pesto, feta, mozzarella, and Romano. So freaking good. And I had it with a Diet Coke or maybe 2 or 3 on this particular day because I think we got there a little bit earlier, or there was some reason. Maybe I had a client that evening. I'm not really sure, but I just had Diet Coke. Well, there you go. Curious what meals you celebrate with or on. If you are on a clean eating diet where you don't eat standard American diet except for when you dine out or when you go to a gathering, or maybe you always eat clean, but I would love to hear what strikes your fancy when you're out at a dining establishment. And yeah, love for you to weigh in. Thanks for being here and I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out the other videos that I mentioned if you want to learn more about the way I eat and why.